So it's the 17th of October. I'm walking downhill for the most part today. Just left Hospedero de la Bizarro. I'm sure that's not how it's pronounced, but it's sort of how it's spelled. Looking out across a beautiful valley. Did have a bit of a surprise this morning. Walked out the door of the hotel and or whatever it's called, the Casa Ruel, and it was raining. According to my weather report, we weren't supposed to get rain today. So I had to completely reconfigure, change my clothes, and not necessarily, well, I changed jackets and put the rain cover on my pack. A little bit of a surprise. Galicia has, so far, not done a great job with trails. We're mainly on the road. But, God, the countryside is beautiful. It is lovely. And it looks like I'm about to get off the road up here. And I don't want to miss it this day. Like I did yesterday. So, off we go onto a dirt trail. I think I need poles. So I'm descending the hill into a Tria Castella. It was a little uphill walking this morning that I wasn't expected, but once we passed that, it has been downhill and really fast downhill. But this has been pretty much the most pleasant area I've walked in all day, so I thought I'd film some stuff. As you can see, we're still up in the mountains. Got a few cows for friends. Voila! Just enjoying the path at this point. The wind's died down, the rain is pretty well stopped. Not bad, not bad at all. As you can see, some cows have been on this trail. They have been on the trails ever since I got into Spain, but since we've gotten into Galicia, they have been on the trails a lot. We're going downhill rapidly here. It's time 19th of October. I'm starting to walk. It's around 9 o'clock. Got a little bit of a late start today, kind of because I wanted to have daylight before I started off into a 1,000-foot climb. Just left Tria Castilla, and I'm heading to Soria. I've managed to catch a cold, and it's going to rain all day. In fact, it's been raining for the last 2 days. But it's a gentle rain. There's very little wind. A 1,000-foot climb is an interesting way to start the morning. The trail seems to be covered in chestnuts and mud. Nothing. Coming to our first little town up here. I believe this is Saint Zil, or Sanzil. A lot of pilgrims on the trail today. Supposedly the rain is going to stop tomorrow, and I'll have clear sailing into Santiago. You can tell people are into the trail around here. There are shells everywhere. But for most of these towns, it's the only thing that keeps them alive. But, yeah, this country is just so beautiful, even in the rain. Don't know if the sound of the rain's being picked up on the camera, but it has a very soothing effect. Many of the chestnut trees along the trail are clearly hundreds of years old. So, it's Tuesday, October 20th. I'm walking out of Syria toward Porto Martin. And it's, I'm probably planning to do about a 20k day today. Kind of a pleasant little path here. I'm getting into the last 100 kilometers. And a lot of people tend to walk just the last 100 kilometers because that's what's required in order to get the Compostela in Santiago, a certificate of completion from the church. So consequently, the last 100 kilometers tends to be a lot more crowded than the rest of the Camino. But I'm kind of lucky this morning. There's hardly anybody on the trail. What's interesting though is seeing all these new pilgrims out here, not being familiar with the trail, looking for arrows and trying to figure out what's going on. I just talked to a guy that was in kind of a daze trying to get his credentials, the passport that you get your stamps in, and he apparently had no idea how to find it, which means he did very little research before he came. But I suppose if you're only going to walk 100 kilometers, only 100, you don't need to do near as much research as you might want to if you're going to walk 800. Here we have one of the markers, and Galatia was very good with these. As you can see, it says 110 kilometers to go, and they tend to put one of those up at least every kilometer, sometimes every half kilometer, which is a nice little marker during your day to help you know how far you've gone, and give you a bit of a sense of accomplishment. I'm hoping I see the one that says 90 kilometers pretty soon. I will definitely see the one that says 100 today, which is a point along the trail that many people stop and celebrate. I suspect I might do a bit of that myself. It was raining cats and dogs yesterday. I was soaked to the bone today, and for the next few days, apparently there is no rain predicted. Very happy about that. But unfortunately, I have managed to catch a cold, which I will affectionately call the Camino crud, as many people out here seem to have caught a cold. And yesterday, while I was walking, it didn't seem to affect me much. Today, it's kind of slowed me down. But I will persevere. I will do the last 100 no matter what. Whether I walk on the Finisterre or not is another question. We will see when I get to Santiago. So this is my first railroad crossing in Spain. Yeah, a train's passing by. Interesting. So it's October 24th, about 10 in the morning. Been walking for about a half hour. The rain prediction for today was that it was going to rain all day. That was yesterday. This morning, they changed that prediction that it would stop at 9, and they were surprisingly accurate. It's been a few days since I walked because I've had a cold. I've been taking a taxi the length that I would have walked, feeling very guilty about it. But I figured that my health is much more important than a chunk of paper. And but I am really glad to be walking again. I'm about 26 kilometers out of Santiago. I'm breaking that up into a 2-day walk. And well, I still have the cold, and I'm coughing and probably sweating more than I would normally. This is so much nicer than riding the taxi. This is so much better. Having waited to start so late, I kind of have the trail to myself, which is very unusual this late in the game. But it's, this is better, much better. I came to Spain to walk across it, not to ride in the car. And walking, especially these last few kilometers, very important to me. There's a signpost about to tell me how far. 24.5 kilometers to Santiago. Apparently I am in Zen. Cool. Well, I'll leave you in Zen. Bye. October 25th, the last day of my walk to Santiago. I don't know, but this could be the last hill I climb before I see the city. It's hard to believe that I've come all this way. I was thinking yesterday about what I've learned on this journey. And it really boils down to acceptance. Acceptance that I can only decide for myself, and that everyone else gets to decide for themselves. It's really simple. Those words have never had more meaning in my life.